Hey church, I thought it'd be a good time to review the Central Church COVID policy. What's the general attitude of our church towards this pandemic? Christians are not to be foolish. Christians do not take foolish risks. Our faith does not mean we ignore our health or the safety of others. Christians also are not fearful. Christians are not led by their fears. We accept the necessary risk of a courageous life and faith. Well, if we're not fearful and we're not foolish, then what are we? We're Spirit-led. Christians are led by the Spirit. We believe God leads us through adversity by wisdom and faith. Our general policies and recommendations are mostly based on guidelines provided by the CDC. It's recommended that if you're at risk or unvaccinated, you should wear a mask in indoor public places. If you are fully vaccinated, you may decide that you need to wear a mask anyway, especially if our region is in a substantial or high risk of transmission. If you have COVID-19, symptoms consistent with COVID-19, or close contact with someone who has COVID-19, please get tested before attending our worship service or any large indoor gathering. When will church activities be canceled or postponed? First, when a local COVID outbreak in our church affects the population directly involved in the event. So if we have an outbreak among college students, we're probably going to cancel college events. If we have one in the youth group, we'll probably cancel youth events and so on. Or number two, when church staff have enough COVID cases to jeopardize the event or activity. We don't want to be the ones to get you sick. Third, when enough church volunteers have COVID cases to make the event impractical. Even though we do have paid staff, a lot of our church activities are completely dependent on the willingness of volunteers to participate. And if key volunteers are either sick or otherwise unable to be there, we may have to cancel activities. And then finally, when state or local ordinance prohibits the activity, we would, of course, do our best to comply with those ordinances wherever they're applicable. How will I know about canceled events? The best way for us to communicate with you is via email. We will do our best to communicate via email on a weekly basis to keep you informed. What we ask of you is please check your email regularly and make sure the office has your preferred email address. And then some of you have asked, would we ever go to online-only worship again? And our answer is only in a worst-case scenario. While all other activities are optional, our goal is to continue to have a reasonably safe in-person worship available on Sunday mornings for those who are willing to attend. We'll continue to stream our service online for those who would prefer to stay at home. And then we'll also have the mask-required room streaming next door in the small auditorium for those who prefer that setting. In general, we make our recommendations here at the church based on a three-tiered system. A low-risk setting is when the 7-day average of new COVID cases is less than 1,000 cases statewide. In that circumstance, there's no general health policies in effect unless otherwise stated for our church. If the 7-day average of new cases is greater than 1,000 cases statewide, but less than 2,000, we consider that a COVID watch, which we've color-coded yellow. Masks are encouraged in worship for both at-risk and unvaccinated persons, and others may choose to wear it as well. And then finally, if the 7-day average is greater than 2,000 cases statewide, all persons we encourage to wear masks in that setting. We hope these guidelines are helpful to give you some guidance of kind of where we're coming from and where we're making these decisions. We're going to do it imperfectly from week to week, but we're doing the best we can to continue to serve God in faith, led by His Spirit, and to continue the work of His kingdom.